Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis. Welcome to today's video. Yes, I'm outside. There's a heat wave in the UK and I'm going to take full advantage and I'm going to sit out in the sun. It's a lovely day and I thought I'd take advantage. So, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about lore. Yes, I know, I'm a lore nerd. If you haven't noticed already, I'm a lore nerd. I do theories, I do stories, I do that sort of thing, and you may know this already, but I like to build my armies around the lore. You don't see it all that often, particularly with my AOS army because I don't have enough stuff, but with my Tau army that I'm starting to build, you could probably see there's a little bit of lore being built through that. So, let me take you back, way back, right to the beginning of my life as a hobbyist. I started 40k playing orcs purely because of Wazdaka Gutsmech. I decided on orcs because they were in Black Reach, so I got Black Reach, and I also did Mini Mani Mo, which is, I remember doing that the night before I started playing. And when I started reading through the book just to learn about the army, I was just drawn to Wazdaka. And I loved him. I thought he was awesome. And he made bikes troops. So I thought, right, well, here's the plan. We're playing an all-biker army. We're playing speed freaks. And that was awesome. I really enjoyed doing that, building a speed freaks up, but I never got it quite done. I never got enough trucks, I never got enough bikes, I never got any more death copters. Flyers didn't exist at that time. I never got any war buggies. So it kind of fell through. But the idea of building a thematic army never really went away. So fast forward, we go through a huge amount of orcs, then we play some Imperial Guard, then we play some elves in the middle of that, then we get to Age of Sigmar and that happens, and we pick up some Dark Elves, and we arrive at Tau. And Farsight. Oh, Farsight, you're amazing. So, my Tau army that I'm working on, if you've been tracking it, if you haven't, then feel free to go and check out the Tau plays and have a look at my hobby updates and you can see how my army's doing. I am building that around the Farsight Enclaves and the 8, exclusively. There will be no Ethereals, no Shadow Sun, no Alvar, nothing that makes it like a Tau army. It's gonna be a Farsight army, very, very different to regular Tau. Because I don't really like regular Tau. I know, it's weird, but I don't like regular Tau's playstyle. I mean, I didn't like it when I played Guard, I didn't like it when I played High Elves back in the day. The whole static gunline type of thing, and then maybe counter assault, yawn. It's kind of boring and very, very samey. Because any gunline army has one job: stand, shoot, hope you don't get charged or you'll lose the game. And yeah, my elves are a little bit like that, but I had a load of cavalry, and when I play Age of Sigmar, I'm not very static. I'm quite mobile, particularly as I've learned the game. I like to move up, move around, and see what I can do with the board. Age of Sigmar doesn't really always encourage that because it just involves cluster flip combat in the middle, but beside the point at this moment in time. But I don't like Classic Tau for that reason. I find them extremely boring, and lore-wise, I don't really like the Ethereals at all. So, Farsight Tau is very, very different. You can ditch all Fire Warriors, all of them. I mean, I won't, because I love breaches, but you can ditch your Fire Warriors because your battlesuit teams become troops, which is something that I really, really appreciate. It used to be you could get a massive bodyguard team for Farsight, which got replaced with the 8 because lore is awesome. But you can take battlesuits as troops, and that encourages an entirely different playstyle for Tau. And not only that, playing that playstyle is playing Farsight's way. I mean, if you play an all battlesuit army, which you can play them quite statically. You can set up Riptides and Ghost Keels and just say, right, come at me, run into all of my guns, and I'm just going to hop around. I'm going to go forward, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, and backwards, forwards, and backwards. And I'm just going to shoot the crap out of you, and then you're going to get to me, and then I'm going to hit you with a wave of supporting fire, and then I'm going to Farsight you in the face in close combat. Have a nice bloody day. No. No. You can do that. But that's not Farsight's way. Farsight is the master of Montcar, a killing blow, hit them hard, and then get out again to minimise losses. And that's the way it's encouraged that you play. And narratively, it's the right way to play. I mean, I'll never say somebody's playstyle is wrong, even if I don't like it. But narratively, the right way to play is aggressively. So that's the way I'm going to play my Tau. I'm going to play aggro Tau. I'm going to go and I'm going to get in people's faces and I'm going to blast them at point blank range with battle suits, leaping about the place, and then when a target of opportunity comes up, Dawnblade, whack, dead. Eat my strength 5 AP 2 armor bade sword, you dreadnought son of bugger. Yeah, that's the plan. It's not going to feel like a Tau army. I'll have breaches, because most people run fire warriors as strike teams. I'm running breaches. Why? Because they're forced to get forward, get up close, and blast things at close range, which is very Farsighty. He would encourage that. Violos is kind of like Viola, very hot-blooded, very close assault trained. So it's just the way Farsight would do it. I mean, when I play larger games, I will still have a strike team with a Fireblade defending home base. I will still have to use support turrets. I will still have to use all sorts of different battle suits. Is that our side gate? I think my brother didn't lock it. What a moron. But the way I'll generally play my games is aggressively. I'll go on the attack. Because that's what I like doing, is what I did with my orcs, is what I do with my dark elves when I play with more cavalry. It's the way I like to play, and it's the way Oshova would do it. So yeah, that's playing with the fluff. Now Age of Sigmar hit the nail on the head with building your army based on lore. Because building an army based on lore in 40k can be kind of awkward for a couple of reasons. The first one being your troop choices might not fit the theme. For example, I'm trying to think of a really good example here. Let's say you wanted a... No, that's a bad example, that's a bad example, that's a bad example. Maybe you wanted... I'm trying to think. Because I want to say White Scars, but I believe a captain on bike unlocks Space Marine bikes as troops, so you can do it anyway. But there is sometimes the off chance that your troop choices don't fit the theme that you're going for, and seeing as they're absolutely flipping essential, actually Tyranids would be a good example. You want to play Nidzilla, well, either you need to invest in 2 squads of Gaunts, or you need to take 30 Termagants to unlock a Tervigon as a troop slot. You have no choice. But you want to play all monsters? Tough. You want to play, I don't know, Living Carpet? Well, good luck. I mean, you could do it out of your troop section, but you've got nothing in any other section that encourages this playstyle. Anyway, so other than your troop choices, there's a lot of good stuff that would be locked away by a playstyle. Whether it's monstrous creatures from a Living Carpet, whether it's vehicles from a Green Tide, whether it's long-range firepower from an aggro Tau, whatever it is, things get locked away, and that makes the army's competitive viability a bit worse. But in AOS, it's very different, because if you haven't got a battle tome, let's say Grand Alliance Order or Grand Alliance Chaos or Grand Alliance Death, every faction is sub-factioned and compartmentalized into little ones, such as Daughters of Cain, Scourge Privateers, Ordo Serpentis, Darklight Covens, the new Mistweaver faction that's going to come out following Silver Tower. There are so many little factions going on that you can do lots of different things and build very thematic armies just within this little box. You don't have a load of unit options, but you have a couple of heroes, you have something big, and you have some core troops, and then you have normally some elite troop to go with it. You have options available, but there's not loads of them. But the army you build narratively is perfect. It's perfectly fluffy, it's perfectly cool, it just works. And that's really cool. Gameplay wise as well, because these little sub-factions kind of work alone, and will probably work even more alone as more little sub-factions come out, getting their own little battles such as Flesh Eater Courts, Pestilence, Skaven. All of these little sub-factions will gain inter-faction synergy with themselves, meaning that fielding an exclusive army in that faction is actually the right thing to do to make the army viable. Lots of mixing and matching. AOS is very synergy based, and you won't have that synergy if you're playing with lots of little sub-factions, if you catch my drift. Now that's not to say you can't do it in 40k, I'm just saying it's harder and the competitive viability goes down as a result. If you're playing super sneaky aggro Raven Guard with scout snipers and jump packs, why would you want Devastator Centurions to fit the narrative theme, even though competitively you really need that long range fire support? If you're playing Eldar that's all about jet bikes, well, you're going to miss out on all the aspect warriors. You're going to lose out on a lot of the combat potential, things like striking scorpions, some of the anti-tank potential of fire dragons, the long-range support of Dark Reapers. I mean, Eldar are a terrible example because they have a little bit of everything everywhere, but you'll then also lose out on the Wraith stuff, and the Wraith stuff is extremely powerful, and okay, you get the Psychic. But you see what I mean? There's things that get locked away from you. So synergizing is harder, and making a competitive army is harder. So what I would say is this: if you are a fan of the lore, when you're building your army, try and make it fit the theme as far as possible. And if there are things that don't fit but you need, whether it's because they're troops or because they're an essential component to make the army function, let's say a Psyker, then try and come up with a good reason for them to be there. So the reason I've got Fire Warriors that stand still in my aggro Tau is because Oshova's not an idiot, and in case the enemy tries to outflank the Tau and come in behind them, the Fire Warriors can offer some fire support, and if they get overrun, then it's easy to bring in some rapid response from battle suits and the air cast. And if you are running a, I don't know, I think of a good example here, a strike squad, or sorry, an interceptor squad in an all Terminator grade Knight army, it's to provide rapid response and to deal with any threats that the paladins are maybe too far away from because they're slow and stumpy and there's no more teleport reserves. Try and come up with reasons for them to be there. Gaming wise, playing the lore is, well, it's kind of awkward. Unless you're playing with a named character or with a supplement that really encourages a certain playstyle, breaking out of your army's normal playstyle, unless you've completely teched the army to the theme, is kind of hard. It's like if you are Imperial Guard playing an aggressive guard list, even if it's Mechanite Mech Guard in the parking lot, still not easy because your troops are squishy as all hell. Your tanks aren't overpowered as all heck. You have no monstrous support because they don't exist in the Imperial Guard. And okay, you have some Psychic, but And again, for me playing aggro Tau, I mean, I've got all of the components to encourage it, such as Farsight, the 8, moving the Retaliation Cadre to core in the Dawnblade contingent, all these little things. But at the end of the day, my warriors are weapon skill 2, toughness 4. They're weapon skill 2 Space Marines with 2 wounds. If they get charged, I'm still boned, and I can't help that. But I want to play aggressively. Yeah, it's not great. So trying to play the theme is probably kind of difficult, and it's certainly not something you can really do in a tournament setting unless you've teched your list to be thematically cool and competitively powerful, which is something that it probably takes quite a skilled mind to do. Certainly someone who's better than me at this game. Well, I'll be honest, I'm quite crap, but it certainly takes someone who's got at least a bit of competitive nous to make it work properly. So there you go. Just a few things about playing and building by the lore. It's something that I really encourage you to try and do. Just read your codex, see what your army does, and see if there's any cool things within it that you think would be something fun and appealing to you, such as maybe reading up on Farsight if you're a Tau player, or maybe looking at Prince Uriel and the quite martial side of the Eldar as opposed to the psychic side. And just doing all of that might be really beneficial. Just read up, and if you find something cool, go for it. Build this, even if it flops, give it a go. There's no harm in doing it, because unless it's a tournament, nobody cares. So there you go. That's all for today. I thought you might find it interesting. I hope you did. If you did, leave it a like. And if you have any thoughts on building a playing by the lore, do let me know in the comments below. I'm very interested to see what you have to say. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis. Until the next time, see you all again. Bye for now.